It is important that the critical electrical components or the battery system itself of an e-mobility vehicle are never exposed to dust, water, chemicals, or any other foreign substance. If this occurs, then an internal short circuit of the battery pack may happen, which can lead to a battery fire. Many e-mobility devices will have a housing to protect against some level of exposure to dust and water. However, the level of protection here varies depending on the product. So before you operate your e-mobility device, it is highly recommended that you investigate the Ingress protection rating of your device. So the Ingress protection rating is a standard for determining how resistant a product is to dust, foreign objects and water. If you look at the product manual of your e-mobility vehicle or look up the specification of your device online, then you'll be able to find its Ingress protection rating. This video will explain how to interpret this rating. The Ingress protection rating will have 2 digits after the letters IP. The first digit indicates how resistant the product is to solid objects and dust. The second digit indicates how resistant the product is to water. This chart here that you can see on your screen outlines the direct meanings of each digit. So if you plan on operating your e-mobility device in a dusty, sandy or dirty environment, then you should use a device with an Ingress protection rating of 5 or 6 for the first digit. This corresponds to either effective protection against the ingress of dust sufficient to cause damage inside the equipment operation, in other words, dust protected, which has a rating of 5, or no ingress of dust, which in other words means dust tight, and that has a rating of 6. When looking at the second digit, you can see that if your e-mobility product has a 0, then it has no protection against water. For these devices, you must never operate them in rain or near any liquids. Note that devices with this rating are impractical for a lot of everyday environments. If your e-mobility device has a rating of 1, then you can operate in minor rain, but you should not drive through any puddles, as the splash from doing this may result in water ingress into the battery. This is significant for e-scooters in particular, as the batteries are typically mounted inside the deck that you stand on, which is very close to the ground and prone to splashback from puddles. A rating of 4 means that you can operate in most typical rain events and should be able to ride through most puddles without any water ingress issues. In fact, for e-scooters, many product manuals dictate a maximum water level that you could drive through to ensure that the battery unit and critical electrical components are not exposed to water. However, you should not use a hose to clean your e-mobility vehicle for any rating of 4 or less. With a rating of 5, you can use a low pressure hose to clean the e-mobility vehicle without water ingress into the battery pack or electronic circuits. However, you must not submerge the part of your e-mobility vehicle that contains the battery or any electrical equipment when the device has a rating less than 7. If you see the letter X for any of the 2 digits in the Ingress protection rating, then it means that the product has not been tested for that Ingress protection rating assessment. So you should assume in this situation that it has a rating of 0 for that digit where the X is to be safe. Now, it is important to understand that the rated Ingress protection of the product will be accurate when you first purchase the product. However, any damage to the product can change the protection against the ingress of water and dust. For example, if an IP56 housing of your device develops a crack, then water could leak into the battery pack area through that crack. So it is important to ensure that the product is not damaged before operating around water or dust.